Now, before we begin with this video, we have this graph, and you're supposed to calculate the slope and the y-intercept of this. So pause the video, go ahead, solve for it, and see what answers you get. Well, if you have calculated everything correctly, you would figure out that the slope is 1 over 2, and the y-intercept, I mean, you can just read it off the graph, it's just going to be negative 2. And hence the equation of the line is going to be y equals to, remember the format was mx plus c, right? So we will replace the m with its value, which is going to be 1 over 2, and we will replace the c with its value, which is negative 2. Okay, so that's going to be our equation of the line. Now, sometimes they ask you questions that are something like this. So they ask you to solve using graph 1 over 2 x minus 2 equals to, for example, 3. Okay. Now, what do they mean by that? That if you recognize this part of the equation is this part, this whole thing is just the equation itself. It is just the y itself, right? Correct? Because that's the equation, and that is represented by y, right? So when they say 1 over 2x minus 2 equals to 3, what they really mean is y equals to 3. And then the question boils down to when y is equals to 3, right, what it would be the corresponding value of x. Okay, that's what they mean by solving these using graph. Whenever they are asking you to solve something, they're probably asking you to just figure out the value of x. Okay, so in this case, when they say 1 over 2x minus 2 equals to 3, I mean, you can apply, you can supply them with a, you can give them with a, you can provide an algebraic solution over here, but they're asking you to use the make use of the graph, so you would have to recognize this relation that 1 over 2x minus 2 equals to 3 is just the y itself. Hence, when they say 1 over 2x minus 2 equals to 3, they're just asking you when y is equals to 3, what is this the corresponding value of x? Okay, so let's see. When y equals to 3, let's plot that on the graph. When y is equals to 3, which is going to be this, right? What is the corresponding value of x? Well, you can see that over here, it's going to be 10. Okay, so the answer to this is going to be 10. Okay, let's solve another one. So let's say if you have 1 over 2x minus 2 is equals to, let's say, 5. Okay, now again, what does that mean? This whole thing is our equation of the line, which is again represented by y. So what they are asking you is simply when is your y equals to 5, what is the value of x at that point. Okay, so again we will go back to the graph, see where y is equals to 5, okay, and look at the corresponding value of x, which is going to be 14 over here. Okay, uh, let me get rid of this one. Go ahead and solve for this. 1 over 2x minus 2 is equals to 7. I'll take you back up to the graph and see if you can answer this. 1 over 2x minus 2 equals to 7, and here's the graph. Pause the video and try to figure out the value of x. Well, if you have solved it correctly, so you would have recognized that here is where y becomes equal to 7, right? We will see where this line has the corresponding value of x, and if you notice, the corresponding value of x is at this point, which is 18. Okay, so the answer to this is going to be x equals to 18. Okay, now sometimes these questions are not that straightforward. Sometimes they ask you a question that looks like this: 1 over 2 x minus 3 equals to 0. Now, they may have given you this graph, but they are now asking you about this 1 over 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Which, I mean, up until now, we were able to see that this side of the equation just represented our graph because that represented y. But that happens not to be the case over here because this is not the equation we started with. The equation that we started with was 1 over 2x minus 2, but in this case, we are getting 1 over 2x minus 3. In that case, you need to ask yourself, can you do some changes to this equation so that it represents the graph of your equation somehow? Well, we can do that. We can just do, we can split the negative 3 into negative 2 and negative 1 equals to 0. Okay, and then move the negative 1 to the other side, it becomes 1. Now the nature of this problem has now changed back to the kind of problems that we had just finished now. Okay, so this is going to be again y over 2x minus 2. So this again represents y. Okay, and again this boils down to the problem, when is y equals to 1? So when is y equals to 1? Well, y is equals to 1 at this value, and the corresponding value of x is 6 at that point. Okay, so x is going to be equal to 6. Okay, now go ahead and see if you can solve for this. 1 over 2x minus 4 equals to 0. Now remember that you have to first change this equation, split up the negative 4 so you can get a negative 2 out of it, and move everything else to the other side so that you can get just y on this side of the equation. And then see what that y is becoming equals to, and then use the graph to solve for it.